Scratching the Dirt will look a little bit different this season because Jose has graciously agreed to be a part of the channel. If you watched last year's videos, you saw that I would sneakily film him a little bit from afar, and I would put him in some of the stuff that I talked over and all that. But he has agreed that because this is the garden and the outside and everything is us together, then the channel could be us together. So it really wasn't my idea. He's the smart one in the group. But so I'm excited that this is something else that he and I get to do together, and I don't have to try to sneak him into shots. He's going, you need to film that, and you need to film that, and he's helping me think about what I need to be doing. And he's also giving me a little motivation in a time when I've been struggling to even figure out what to film, what not to film, having the energy to film. You know, if you've been following the carnivore vlog, that I had a few week hiatus completely, and the Scratching the Dirt stuff has just fallen off completely. I'm still trying to figure out where my time should go, where my energy should go, and having this outlet for the two of us to work together on something besides just the garden, but also then turn around and work on the editing and posting the videos, and just being together in this way is fun, and I'm excited about it. But that's where we are. That's what's happening here. You gonna do this or what? Hi. I'm waiting on Jose. He's inside the makeshift greenhouse over there. Can't hear me, I guess, because I asked him if he was ready.
Also, you'd be talking to me like, "Hey, come here."
I am talking. I was talking to it. Because I asked you, I was like, "Hey, we gonna do this or what?" And you were inside the thing, and I was like, "Oh, he can't hear me." Let's just film, and then whatever I need to cut out, I can cut out.
Yeah.
Or I can be like, "Look at us. We're not good." Okay. Are you in enough?
Huh?
Are you in there enough? Enough room for my booty?
Yeah. We have enough room.
That's a good thing I lost some of that booty. There wouldn't be room.
You can lose it all.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Okay. So are we just going to wing it and see what happens? Yeah. Okay.
Cool. That's what you like.
I know.
You just.
Okay. Hi, guys.
Yeah.
Welcome to Scratching the Dirt. This is Nikki and Jose. Jose's here. We were just going to start filming some stuff. You may not be able to tell because we're in the shade right now, but it is a beautiful day after a couple of weeks of really, really cold weather, and somebody is itching to get outside and get garden stuff going. So we went and got a few supplies this morning because this one is itching to get the chicken coop cleaned out because it is pretty, you'll see it. I'll film that, but it's pretty bad. And so we went and got some stuff this morning. And just real quick before we get into all of the action, we want to talk about what we're planning, like what's going on. I'm going to let Jose tell you a little bit, since he is the one that is super excited about the garden. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But so what are the things we need to think about now that we're like, what is it, February 7th? You know, early on in February. We probably still have some more winter coming. But there are some things that even here in Texas, we need to start thinking about. So what's on our list?
Well, I've been working on the compost.
Yep.
Making sure I want to have a good product for this year. This is our third year. We're working on our fourth.
This is our fourth. We're going into year four.
Year. And we've had, success and failures, but the compost is something that I've been really focused on. Been monitoring the temperature, adding our scraps to it, adding some carbon to it, and right now, what I want to do is I have it in one section, and I want to move it over to the other section to see if I can get that temperature to come up. So it's ready here for in the next couple of weeks because the garden's getting ready, but we want it to be prepared. We have big plans this year. That's what we want. We want a ton of tomatoes.
Yeah.
And some of the other vegetables that we want to grow, we want, good success.
Yep.
That's what we want.
And if you recall, I had like a whole video where I showed you all the work I was doing on the compost. Somebody stole it. Somebody got really into the compost.
Somebody abandoned it.
I was letting it do its thing.
I'm just picking up the slack.
He's gotten really into it. So the end result of that is going to be probably, I hate to admit, that we're going to end up with really, really good compost this year. And with him monitoring the temperature, the big thing for me, the thing that I'm not going to complain about is that by monitoring the temperature, he's really making sure that all of those unwanted seeds for like the weeds and things actually die if they get hot enough. Last year at the beginning of the year, I spent a lot of time pulling weeds because our compost basically seeded our garden with weeds. And so hopefully coming up this year with him paying such close attention to the temperature, that will be less of an issue. So, yeah.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
And also to kind of mulch this year to keep that moisture because we installed the watering system and want to keep it watered because we're kind of iffy on the weather.
Yeah.
Another cold. Are we going to be rainy and wet for like 2 weeks solid and then nothing?
Yeah.
Or are we just not going to get anything like we did this past year?
Yep. Okay. It's only been almost a year and I still don't know how to use the camera. One thing I did want to mention that this made me think of when you started talking about the mulch. Our first year here, we did what every YouTuber tells you to do, and we went and bought straw, and we used straw as mulch, or we used wood chips. We mulched everything. And we did not find success with that. We didn't find necessarily that it was holding in the moisture. We did find that in our summer temperatures, like in July and August, and that I believe the first year we spent quite a bit of time over at 100 degrees or really close to it, that it was just helping to burn up our plants. And so we do want to mulch our plants this year. We just are trying to figure out a way to do it. And of course, we had that one year with all of those temperatures, and then the very next year it was completely rainy and very wet and not as hot. And so from year to year, and the thing is you don't really know until we get into it, right? What the temperatures are doing.
Right.
So, but we can always mulch now, like as we plant things, and what we probably need to do is just pay more attention and pull it back if we get those stretches of 100-day heat and it looks like it's not actually helping anything. Yep.
And I have some bags of leaves that I've collected.
Stolen.
They're on the curb. If they're on the curb, they're free. I beat the trash man. Anyways, I have 11 bags now, and I have another person who has probably 13 more bags. So just using the resources to where we don't have to spend any money, very little, if we have to buy any type of straw or mulch for the garden. But yes.
Yeah, and y'all, you probably saw when we did the onions, that was what I showed, that Jose had come in with leaves. Those leaves were leaves that we raked up from our own yard, but we have greatly multiplied the number of leaves that are available to us because Jose is checking the curbs. Yeah. And he's right. It's not really stealing. It's on the curb. And so he has taken leaves, and then other people are bringing us leaves. So, if we're talking about good organic, free organic material to break down, then we're all for it. Absolutely. Do we want to get going? Do we want to just get to work before I run out of energy?
Yes.
So I'm going to start in the chicken coop. And are you going to start in the run so that you can build those layers?
Yes, I'm going to rake up those, their leaves and whatever else matter that's there.
Feathers. So many feathers, y'all, the chickens.
And we're going to move that I want to move that compost from one to the other end. But put that down at the bottom along with some of the leaves that I've acquired, and then add a lot of the food scraps that we have, and some of the produce that was given to me.
Already almost rotten.
And
so it's going in the compost.
Not going to give it to the chicken, so we're just going to compost it.
Yep.
Just to help out.
Yeah, nothing gets wasted. We definitely keep the loops closed around here. Any food, either if it can't go to the girls, then it goes into the compost, which then goes into the garden, which then goes into our bodies or back into the girls. So, yeah. Okay. Well, then let's get to work.
I'm going to keep working.
I'm just going to film you.
That's it.
Okay. We need a garden tour. We need a garden tour. So here we are. We're right here by the back door. Let's go through. So this lantana, so we had a couple of days that were hard freezes. So we were under freezing temperatures for 48 hours around.
At least.
So the lantana is going to come back though. Whenever we get deeper into spring, we'll just trim that back. It'll come back. The rosemary, Jose put this blanket over it, and look at it.
Rosemary.
Oh, look at this beautiful.
And oregano.
And the oregano over here.
And then the salvia.
There's a salvia down here. See how it's already starting? These salvias, I swear they're the best. It's coming back. And then we have, so these are vincas, which are hot weather. They were never going to make it anyways, which is fine.
Rose of Sharon.
There's a Rose of Sharon, which should actually come back. This should come back for sure. And then honestly, it's been a while, so I'm not sure about all these other random things. The zinnias were back here. There's a hosta in there, down underneath those leaves. Somewhere. So, and then we've got, this is a sage. I don't remember what that is. This is a sage. I can tell just by looking at it. You can see there's still some sage leaves there. And then there's my big salvia. I know it looks horrible, but it's coming back. So then we have the rose that Jose built. I talked about that one time. We still have the middle. There's those shallots in there that we planted together. Jose actually did some more shallots in that pot right there. And they're all covered up with leaves. Those are lantanas. They'll come back. I'm going to come over here because we have our makeshift greenhouse that Jose just opened up. And we are going to get water onto all of these things. As you can see, some things. Like the citrus looks terrible, but I think it just needs water. The oreganos just live through everything. We tried to overwinter that pepper, not very well because I didn't cut it back. We have the moringas. Basically, we're just going to put water on all these things and see what happens with them. And then we have these 3 rows here. That this is where Jose built these up, covered them in leaves. The leaves are already decomposing really quickly. Peach tree is still right here. This is the plumbago that should come back. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. And then that is our sage that we put. It was in the grow bag, and Jose put it into the ground. And then, y'all, look at that onion. So this is what Jose and I were just looking at. And I was like, I got to film this. So you can tell we got some freeze, and the beautiful green is now green and brown. But
this one.
Look at these, baby. Look at how thick these are. So look, if I put my pinky. So y'all remember these were just, look at this. Look at this. There's a lot of them in here. Like every time I go, oh, look at this one. Oh, look at this one. There's a lot of onions that are starting to thicken up in the stalk. And I think they're going to be fine, right? Like, they look beautiful, even though there's some brown, and the brown that's in there, we're just going to let that decompose down into the ground. We did buy, we were at the Tractor Supply, and we bought some onion starts this morning, some white onion, And we did that because we're going to go ahead and actually plant those on the other side in front of the chicken run. And we're going to see the difference in what we get between doing this that we did where I planted these in November and trying to do it more in the spring. We haven't before had success in the spring, but we've also never done the starts with the green on them. We've always done like the little bulb, just the tiny little things. So this is to be worried about a later date. We think the olive trees are okay. They do look brown, but I think they should be fine. This, you want to show them, Jose, how? So he watered this in and covered it up with leaves. And when you pull that back, this is like still completely wet, moist in there. So that's
only an inch.
And that's only an inch down. So
water it in and some more.
Yep. So while we do the work over on the chicken coop and the compost, we're going to get a sprinkler going, because we do know that like this, if you let it just dry out for months on end over winter or anytime, then it does become aquaphobic, which means it'll be impossible to get water to seep into it. And that's the last thing we want, since this is where we're going to plant. This is actually going to be tomatoes here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
tomatoes
and tomatoes. And these first, like Jose said earlier, we want a lot of tomatoes. So the last thing we want is for this to become aquaphobic and we can't get it watered in. So we're going to water the stuff that's in the little makeshift greenhouse, and then we're going to get the sprinkler going over here while we're working on the other side. But that's the garden. That's where the garden's at right now. All right, so here we go. The tours continue. We're back over here. This is my herb bed. The sage is going to come back, the oregano, the thyme, all of that is going to come back. So I'm not worried about it right now. This is not a priority for today. This is the bed though. This one that has the goji berry in the back. This is where we're going to put the onion starts that we just purchased. So if you look, we didn't do a whole lot with this. Like I didn't come in and put leaves in here. There are leaves. You can see them piled up in the back, but that's just from the trees. And this is where they kind of land. So that's good. But we'll need to pull all of the tubing out and put some more leaves, work it in to the soil, get it good and watered in, and then the onion starts can come in, because it's pretty dry in there, it looks like. And roots from previous things. Yep. So we've got to do some work here before those onions can go down.
Yeah, it's dry.
Yeah, it's dry. And we got to get some water in it for sure. Yeah. And we need more organic material in there. We got to get some leaves worked in or something, or some compost or something. So there's that. And now let's go around here. See? Hi, girls. We'll walk around. We had these tarps up covering the cold wind. But oh, here we go. Here's the coop. It's a mess. So the coop, I got to the point where I just dumped some shavings in here, and then we put a waterer in here for the days when it was frozen. But look at all the leaves in the corner. There's leaves everywhere. The girls are molting big time. And then I also have feathers. No, thanks. Yeah. Y'all know I do that. We've always had the problem with this one, right? With the girls just hanging out here and pooping. Well, they've started in this one. And now it looks like maybe a little bit in this one. So this is the one where the one chicken that's laying right now, because we're only getting like one egg every 2 days, is an Easter egger. So she needs a clean nest. Part of what I got today at Tractor Supply too is some vitamins for the chickens that I'm going to be mixing into their feed to see if last year they didn't do this. They didn't stop laying. They didn't molt like this. So their condition doesn't look great right now, to be honest. And so we're going to be doing some work to try to get them back to 100%, back to laying. But look at, I know the shadows make it kind of hard to see, but you can still, it's just covered in feathers. They've just been losing feathers like crazy. So we're going to get this raked up. These are the feathers and material that Jose's talking about that he's going to put at the base layer of that compost. That's like the before. So this is the 2027 compost. Remember, see, there's just thermometer in there. This is the 2027 compost. So starting with the coop clean out from last spring, this is all the stuff that has a lot of chicken manure in it. So it needs more than a year to get ready to go into the garden. So we've added a lot of stuff to it as well, not just the coop stuff, but when we were cleaning things up out of the garden, it's gone in there. This half is now leaves that were confiscated by Jose legally. And then this is our 2026 compost, which is covered in leaves, but you can see underneath here. Well, if I could, yeah, like a leaf, there we go. So our compost is in there. That's what we'll be pulling from as we start getting the garden ready. So, and Jose already pulled some when he built those rows. So we have a lot of compost. We have a lot of compost. This is a whole 4 by 4 by 4 by 4. And I don't know how tall it is. 3.5 feet.
3, at least 3.
So.
And they're both measuring 58 degrees right now.
58 degrees. So a little cold, but that's to be expected with all the cold weather we've had. But I don't know. Can you see the color of that? It's really dark, which is beautiful. So maybe it's a good thing that he took over the compost. Don't tell anyone I said that. So that's where we are. And then, so this, I believe, this is where you're going to build the new layers. Yep. So these leaves will come out and then he'll start.
Pull them leaves out, put that, all them feathers and stuff from the run in there. And then move this, put a layer of some of these leaves, and then start moving that compost over, watering it in, just get it going. And try to, oh, and then the food scraps.
Yeah, we have a lot of food scraps inside the house that we need to bring out.
And then get it watered in, and hopefully with the warm temperatures we're going to have for this week, hopefully the compost temperature will come up.
Yeah, it should. We're going to be like around 80 degrees all week, I think.
And plus, this gets more shade. The sun's coming from here this way. Yeah. Hopefully this side will get more sun and start to heat up.
And then, of course, longer term goal beyond just being able to get to the point where we can use that for this year is we have to get this moved and put into like mixing production so it can be turned and added to all season. And then we need this bin so that the new chicken manure can have a new place to start where it can go for more than a year, just like we did with this one. So this just needs to shift over.
It'll move over
eventually. That's not happening today. We're not ready for that today. I'm about to add more manure to this when I clean out the coop. So after that clean out sometime is when everything will shift.
Guess I need another bin?
No, we're good for now.
And plus the table is movable.
Yeah, and then we have the, y'all remember I sift the compost, so the sifting table has been rebuilt over here on this side. This is where the wheelbarrow goes up underneath here, and then we sift so that all the bigger rocks and limbs and things don't go into the garden. They just go back into the compost to decompose for a little bit longer. There's part of our fig tree. Look at it, just chilling.
Well, I got some in a pot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got the other.
Oh yeah, Jose made a leaf cylinder thing.
Just a cage.
It's just a cage.
Just hopefully with the more rain this spring, that'll turn and decompose even more. That's some really good stuff for the compost.
Yeah. We have over here, so this is obviously, this was that tomato bed that was in the garden that's pulled out. This is all that we have left of the potting mix that my dad had gotten for us for free. I really need to see if he can get some more. I don't know if he can. I think it was a one-off, but this is all the stuff that Jose pulled out of the garden, the weed cloth and the grass and stuff when he was getting those rows ready. We still have some wood that needs to be broken down. Like we have lots of projects. We have lots of projects to keep us going. Okay, so I was just filming a carnivore vlog, and then I remembered I need to film something to end this video. So when we filmed this day, which was Saturday, a couple of days ago, I intended to make a video with everything, but just kind of introducing Jose and giving the updates on what everything looks like right now ended up being a lot of minutes. So I'm going to cut it here, and then we'll call this Scratching the Dirt. This is 2026's first Scratching the Dirt video of the year. And then I'm going to take some of the footage of the work we did after we gave the updates, the things we did with the coop and the compost and all of that. And it'll be another video. So if you're still with us after these 25, it's probably 28 minutes or so by now, thank you for being here. I'm excited to have Jose as a part of this project, as a part of the Scratching the Dirt channel. And I think we have really cool things coming up in the spring. So stick around, subscribe, get notifications so you know whenever we post new videos. And we're going to show you the progress all spring as we get the garden up and running. So I'm going to see you soon. You know, I never know how soon that'll be, however quickly I can edit and post. But thank you so much for your time. Thanks for coming on this journey with us. We're both really, really excited about what the garden's going to do this year. So I can't wait to see how it all turns out. And I'll see you soon. Bye.